Julian Assange speaks from Ecuadorian embassy. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has spoken for the first time since taking refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Also this evening, devoted mum of Moors murder victim Keith Bennett dies. Muslims around the world celebrate Eid. And temperatures on the up after hottest day of the year. Good evening. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has spoken for the first time since taking refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. Assange spoke to the media and his supporters from the balcony of the embassy this afternoon. During the statement, Assange thanked the nation of Ecuador for taking a stand for justice in giving him political asylum. He appeared on the balcony of the South American country's embassy, where he has been taking refuge for 2 months as he seeks to avoid extradition to Sweden to face questioning on sexual assault allegations. The Australian also thanked other helpful South American nations and supporters around the world, plus his family, including his children, who have been denied their father. He said, "Forgive me, we will be reunited soon." He also called on the United States to end its witch hunt against the WikiLeaks organisation. Mr. Assange has been inside Ecuador's London embassy for 2 months today. The controversial figure, who is wanted in Sweden for questioning on sexual assault allegations, entered the building seeking asylum on June the 19th and has been inside since. Last week, it was announced he had been granted political asylum, sparking a major diplomatic row between Ecuador, Sweden, and the government, which insists it is legally obliged to hand Mr. Assange over. Earlier in the day, Assange's legal representative Balthazar Garcon emerged from the embassy and said, "I have spoken to Julian Assange and I can tell you that he is in fighting spirit and he is thankful to the people of Ecuador and especially to the President for granting asylum." Julian Assange has always fought for truth and justice and has defended human rights and continues to do so. He demands that WikiLeaks and his own rights will be respected. Julian Assange has instructed his lawyers to carry out a legal action in order to protect the rights of WikiLeaks, Julian himself, and all those currently being investigated. Foreign Secretary William Hague has made it clear that Mr. Assange will not be allowed safe passage out of the country. Mr. Assange denies the allegations he faces in Sweden and fears being transferred to America if he travels to contest them. He enraged the US government in 2010 when his WikiLeaks website published tranches of secret US diplomatic cables. Bradley Manning, a US Army intelligence analyst suspected of leaking the information, is being held at a American military base. He is being charged with transferring classified data and delivering national defense information to an unauthorized source and faces up to 52 years in jail. Winnie Johnson, the mother of the Moors murder victim Keith Bennett, has passed away peacefully at a hospice in the early hours of this morning, her lawyer has said. She tried tirelessly to discover where her 12-year-old son was buried on Saddleworth Moor above Manchester, stating that her final wish was for him to have a Christian burial. Winnie Johnson, 78, had been suffering from cancer for a number of years and passed away peacefully. Keith was taken by Ian Brady and his partner, Myra Hindley, on June 16, 1964, after he left his home to visit his grandmother. Their other victims were found in shallow graves on Saddleworth Moor, but Ian Brady, who was being held on a secure mental hospital, has always refused to disclose the location of Keith's body. Winnie has always maintained that he remembers where the body was hidden and appealed to him directly to reveal the location before she died. Just yesterday there was a potentially significant development in the search for Keith's body, when it was revealed that his murderer, Ian Brady, may have written a letter addressed to Winnie. Brady's mental health advocate, Jackie Powell, claimed in a television interview that he had given the letter to her in a sealed envelope with the instruction that it should not be opened until after his death. Winnie's lawyer, John Ainley, described Winnie as a most courageous lady, but added that her family had decided not to inform her of the development so as to not raise her hopes prematurely. He added, "I think that any information that's passed over is going to be too little too late, sadly, certainly as far as Winnie is concerned." Martin Bottomley of Greater Manchester Police, who is leading the investigation into the possible letter left by Brady, paid tribute to Winnie on behalf of the force. Brady's lawyer, Richard Nicholas, declined to comment on the news of the death. Muslims around the world have been celebrating Eid, which marks the end of the fasting month of Ramadan. Eid al-Fitr is traditionally a time to celebrate with family and friends, and is celebrated for 1 to 3 days. Before the day of Eid, each Muslim family gives a food donation to the poor to ensure that others have a meal and everyone can participate in the celebration. This donation is known as Sadiq al-Fitr, fast-breaking charity. On the day of Eid, Muslims gather in the morning in mosques or other outdoor spaces to perform the Eid prayer. After the Eid prayer, Muslims typically visit family and friends and give gifts. In many Muslim countries, the celebration is an official holiday. Temperatures are set to continue to soar today, following the hottest day of the year so far. Most of the UK on Saturday was treated to temperatures in the high 20s, but in Cavendish, Suffolk, the mercury hit 32.4 degrees Celsius, 90 Fahrenheit, making it the hottest August day since 2005. The heat looks set to continue today, with the south and southeast hot and humid, ITV weather presenter Lucy Verasamy said. Outbreaks of thundery showers are also likely today. Thousands of Britons took to the seaside parks and gardens yesterday to bask in the sweltering heat. Festival goers at the V Festival in Chelmsford, Essex, and in Weston Park, Staffordshire, took advantage of the sunshine, while elsewhere there was an increase in sales of barbecue foods. Many parts of the UK were hotter than Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, where tourists enjoyed top temperatures of 29.8 degrees Celsius, 85 Fahrenheit. Yesterday's weather also ensured a hot kick-off to the Premier League season. Now, just in case you didn't know, today has seen the last editions of the GAP Weekend News. From next week, we will be back in Studio 2 as we wait for a complete rebrand here in Studio 1. 2 new 5-minute bulletins will air for the weekend news. That's it for now. I'm back at 10 o'clock. Until then, goodbye, have a good evening.